It's kind of fun to watch Biden's press secretary, Jen Psaki, deal with the media. And of course, it's unavoidable to compare her with Kayleigh McEnany, who was her predecessor under Trump. I'm tempted to say that this is the difference between Beauty and the Beast, but the truth of it is actually Kayleigh McEnany was Beauty and the Beast. She was very tough in dealing with the media, as she had to be. And Jen Psaki can normally rely on this kind of lapdog media absolutely eating out of her hand. It's an embarrassing spectacle because it really shows you that these journalists aren't real journalists. They're fakes. But every now and then, and usually from the direction of Fox News or one of the conservative channels, comes a tough question. So here is the young reporter Peter Doocy putting Jen Psaki on the defensive in a very interesting way. Listen.
Kamala Harris said that this facility, putting people in this facility, was a human rights abuse committed by the United States government, and Joe Biden said, under Trump, there have been horrifying scenes of at the border of kids being kept in cages. Now, it's not under Trump, it's under Biden.
This is not kids being kept in cages. This is kids. This is a facility that was opened that's going to follow the same standards as other HHS facilities. It is not a replication, certainly not. That is never our intention of replicating the immigration policies of the past administration.
What kind of logic are we dealing with here? So, Doocy is pointing out very simply that, under Trump, you called them cages. Under Trump, there was all this rhetoric about putting people in concentration camps. Under Trump, these facilities were described as jail cells. And this was done consistently by the media, by Biden and Kamala Harris. And I have Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. The administration has established concentration camps on the southern border of the United States for immigrants where they are being brutalized with dehumanizing conditions and dying. That's not really proper grammar, but that's AOC. This is not hyperbole. Now, AOC is now suddenly very silent, even though, as Doocy points out, we're talking about the use of the same facilities. So suddenly, it's interesting to see how the media obediently goes along with this. I'm looking at all these different headlines. Suddenly, the cages become structures, temporary structures. Suddenly, the concentration camps become emergency facilities. Suddenly, the jail cells become shelters or overflow camps. So this is the Orwellian manipulation of language. And when you juxtapose it under Trump, under Biden, you really see the dishonesty kind of jump out at you. It's sort of a jack-in-the-box moment where you go, wow, you've caught these guys red-handed. And of course, Jen Psaki's doing her best to sort of cover this up. She knows it's true. She knows there's a double standard. So she brings up, well, it's what about the special circumstances of COVID-19? Now let's think about this. If you have a cage and you stick a kid in it, that's a kid in a cage. Now, if you do that under COVID-19, you could say, listen, I have to stick the kid in a cage because of COVID-19. There's no other place to put the kid. But you still have a kid in a cage. It doesn't cease to be a cage because it's COVID-19. The same facility being used by Biden that was used by Trump remains the same facility, whatever the rationale, real or specious, that is being used to justify it. This kind of nonsense has been going on now for years. It's just gotten a lot worse. I remember even under Reagan, they talk about, there's a rising tide of homelessness in America under Reagan, and it continued under Bush. Suddenly, the moment Clinton was elected, 1992, all the articles disappeared. Suddenly, there was no homeless problem at all. Did all the homeless people find homes? No. It's just that the media attention, which was trying to blame Reagan and Bush for homelessness, ceased to want to put that millstone around the neck of Clinton. So all of this is really revealing about the media and the way the media functions in this country, not as the sort of neutral arbiter or presenter of truth, but as a deceitful operation deliberately spreading double standards and lies to hurt one political party and help their own.